Hi, guys.
Bam!
Libra. Ah!
All right. We got Libra going on.
What's going on? Okay.
Let's see. Can we like tilt
The time is
a
now.
little bit? You're saying our cards. We're using the Angel Power Tarot deck by Doreen Virtue.
We're in your sister sign, Gemini, right now. The sun is in Gemini. So how is that going for you guys? This is like some energy you can deal with. You like this. You're coming from a deeper place a lot of the times, but you like information and connecting. You like relating, right? And Gemini likes connecting, so it's kind of the same, right?
We're using the energy of the Sagittarius full moon today. The citrine popped out for you guys. I'll show you that. The camera looks a little bit like lost, right? I don't know what's going on with that, but this is the citrine. Yeah. So we're just going to use that energy. Dell's going to talk to you guys about the Sagittarius full moon. I'll be right back.
All right. So Sagittarius full moon, we're talking about a really highly charged energy, right? That's coming from spirit. So it's very mature. Some of you right now are feeling really energized in your goals, or you're going to have that epiphany and you're just feeling really spirited either about a relationship, because you are Libra. So this could be being spirited about a person and just like the amount of energy that comes into it. Or all of a sudden you just feel like you want to get down into something, like you just feel full. You're anticipating perhaps like a little bit more of a fight, but you're getting closer and closer and closer to your goal. This energy is really this is like a heightened, mature, fiery energy.
Hi, Salt and Pepper Uncut.
Hi, guys. Hi, Salt and Pepper. Glad you're here.
What have you guys been dealing with lately as far as like your energy? Like, hold on. Sorry,
Libras. You know you're thinking about people, of course, and your relationships, of course. You're Libras. Right? It's either that or you're thinking about your career and, you know, how to move forward and how you need people in order to move forward.
You know what? Yeah, he's right. And you know what, Libra? This day has actually been quite awesome. You know, I'm a Libra sun. I'm a Libra rising. And I am under Pluto's rulership as well with Pluto. I was looking at Providence Tarot here on the page from Justine with Pluto in Libra. So there's a lot of Libra energy going through me. Dale has Pluto and Libra energy as well.
Yeah, Pluto and Libra is a very strong placement, right?
Yeah.
That's the reveal in relationships. And I'm ruled by, you know, Venus is right there conjunct with my sun. So I do understand, and I have my 7th house, which is Venus rules the 7th house, which is your ruler. You rule the 7th house, right? That's opposite my rising. So it's in my K2. So it's like where I'm coming from in that sense too. So I really can relate to Libra a lot. I'm highly, 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 highly compatible with Libra, right?
It's 6th house energy, you guys.
Right, because I'm a Leo. My sun is in Leo. So it's just that air and the fire is it's expanding it. And then I have Gemini rising. Right, and then I have a Cancer moon, which is also cardinal, just like you guys. So what do the cardinal signs do? They initiate.
Oh,
so
Stephanie, hi.
You're initiating thoughts and you're initiating actions, and usually you're fusing two things together, the mutable and the fixed. You're right in between that. So you're always kind of pulling from both of those, right?
Right. Because you are the cardinal energy, right, that initiates the coming together of all the signs, really, because you want them to each understand each other. You want the other 11 signs to know that if we understand each other, we can get the best out of each other. And it really is about getting the best out of each other, right? So you have to understand someone to even know what their best qualities are. Mm-hmm. So you've got to really get to know them well, and that takes time. Saturn, right, exalted in Libra, getting to know people, learning them in your relationships. And then it's the value that this person is to you, which is another Capricornian energy with Saturn being exalted in Libra. It's also just a very like cardinal essence when you think of Saturn sometimes. Saturn loves Capricorn and it also loves Libra. But
then friends made friends again. Look at that. You're just talking about it's a great day, cat lady. Old friends make friends. Well, that makes sense, right? Because Sagittarius is talking about running that race for a long time. It is the most spirited and the most mature of all of the fire signs. So it has to do with like very very higher learning, very conscious with why you're doing what you're doing, right? And then the moon is talking about feelings. So it's like two people that have been running a race for a long time. It's nice to sometimes be along a race and then to turn and look over to the side and see that that person is still in that with you, right? That could definitely be exalted in a Gemini season. Because in Gemini, we're all about our experience and somebody else's experience. We're analyzing
Julie,
things.
we hope you're doing okay. I'm just going to shuffle the deck a few more times. I feel like it was shouting at me. I like just did this on my clock. But
he's using his Angel Tarot.
Angel Power Tarot deck. You know what? And the card that I saw was like the King of Gabriel. But now the Queen of Gabriel popped up. So we're going to put this up there. We were talking about this Leo energy. This is, traditionally, if you think about like the archetype of the card, it's cardinal and it's fire. So you're thinking Aries energy, but then you want to think Sagittarius and Leo as well, because this is the Queen of Wands, right? She's got the cat there. So this is you actually you're harnessing this Sagittarian full moon energy to really like manifest things that you want. Yes, it's like your focus is so pinpointed and the accuracy of what you actually know that you can achieve is strong. Yes, and you have faith in that.
There is a yearning,
confidence.
Here. Yeah, what are you yearning for? Many of you are yearning right now for spirit, right? There's a call here. There's a need to express. There's a wokeness to it. You are woke to these feelings because this is two things that are happening simultaneously, right? Because these are water-based. This is Queen. Right. So this is water, but it's in a fire house here. These are suits of fire, right? Because this is Wands. So just think about it. That turmoil that's going between, you got to find the right mixing elements going on here. Because you're going to either put the water out or you're going to put the fire out, right? And it's calling for it. It's calling for you to express yourself, these feelings of spirit, or you're getting to a place, because this is at the top, where this is going to be your perspective soon. Yeah? So soon, I'll even go ahead and read it to you. It says, you can do anything right now. Go after what you want. Right. Look, the ability to attract helpful people. Talk about going after what you want.
Pinpoint accuracy.
The moon is in Sagittarius, so this is talking about a full-out energy. This is what a Sagittarius do. Is running the races, out there doing things. So this is not the time to sit back and relax. That's for sure. The sun is in Gemini, which means we can go out and do these things. We want to, right?
Right. It is definitely not the time to not be really trying to focus your energy towards something. And this is the 8 of Gabriel, right? So you got Mercury in Sagittarius, right? Yeah. So here we go. We're thinking about Sagittarius energy. We're thinking about how we can expand ourselves, like through knowledge and wisdom and learning, right?
Mm-hmm. And this is spirited. So this could definitely have to do with love if it's not about career. This is a passion-based thing. So whatever it is, it's passionate. Then Sagittarius is talking about a very mature energy. It's the oldest of the fire signs. Yeah. It's the most mature. So it's not like Aries where it's just like, I'm just impulsively doing what I want. It's like, I know why I'm doing this. I've gone through 8 other signs in order to get to this place of spirit.
Right. A lot of you guys are having some heartfelt communication. It's communication that's like really directed. It's like for a purpose. Yeah. So that's great. Let's see what you're working with here in your reading. We're doing the pyramid. It's just one of our signatures. We love doing it. It gives us a lot of information. We have been doing the 12th house spread, and we've been getting a lot of good vibes from that. And it's been going very well for us. So let's look at your sun, which is your identity. Okay, the 9 of Michael. You're taking a look at these things that have actually been troubling you for some time, right? Today is the actual day for you to recognize
9 of Michael, right? Libra. 9 of Swords, baby.
Yeah.
Are you hurting right now? You're hurting. A lot of you are hurting.
Yeah.
Inside or out. You are. A lot of it has to do with either the way you feel in yourself. You're not quite where you want to be. Maybe you're not being as patient with yourself with some of your goals, and you need to be. Or it's literally a person. It's a person on your mind. And this kind of like, you're making it worse because you're isolated somehow from it, from the person or from the situation. And it's normally, this is like a card that you deal with on your own. It's like suffering in silence kind of thing. It's like mentally, I am just constantly here, right? Which is like Mars and Gemini. And the sun is in Gemini right now. And Mars is in Aquarius, astrologically. So it's still mental. So it's really talking about like putting a lot of aggression into your thoughts to the point that maybe it's like affecting your day to day.
Right.
Like you're not able to be present as much as you possibly could. You could be missing like some real beautiful things or appreciating. You are Venus ruled, so focus on the Venetian aspects of things. Keep your aesthetic like really beautiful so that you can kind of get these swords down, because it's saying that there's something problematic there, and your focus is like you have to focus on the outcome that you desire right now.
Right. So it's kind of like you shouldn't get bent out of shape about all of the things that come with the situation or the circumstance that you are finding yourself in, right? Because there are going to be many things to think about at any given time. I could think about like how my 10 of Altoids is on the floor and make a big deal out of that. I could think about how my phone may not be on the charger and make a big deal about how I don't have an outlet close enough to me. You know what I mean? It's like, stop complaining about stuff. Stop connecting with like the negative aspects of what you're dealing with right now. It's like you got to focus on the positive so that you can begin to see that things are actually able to get better. Some of you might be worried about like, your ability to make moves or do things because you're not really financially in a place yet where you can like make decisions to go out to like you do things that you have to pay for, right? There's no worry in that. You can always create beauty in your surroundings, in your atmosphere, in your environment. You're a Libra, you know what I mean? That's cardinal air. You can create all of that. But then you also can create a lot of worry too that makes you a little bit stagnated sometimes. Stagnant.
It's like the choices. It's like the choices have already been made. And some of you are putting too much
beautiful stuff.
You're putting too much qualm or too much emphasis on choices that have already been made that affect you somehow, right? Maybe you took that job, or your partner took the job, or you moved here and this thing happened, and now you're dealing with this situation, and it's like you can't stay in the trepidation of the situation. Right. You have to move forward from there, or it's going to continue to affect your mind and your present. You're not going to be productive. It's like creating a prison for yourself almost. It's like nothing tastes good. Nothing is beautiful. Nothing is great. Right. And in that case, it's like, that's when you really have to start to meditate and cleanse your energies, right? Because you're not going to be able to control everything. There's two people in a situation at all times. Of all people, Libra knows that. Whether it's your business partner, you're working with business, or you're showing up, clocking in and clocking out somewhere, or it's your mate and you miss your mate and he's a fire sign, or she's a fire sign especially. So you feel like you can't expand in your thoughts without their actions, right?
This card is also saying, this is Gemini season, right? And it's in the sun position. So what's going on for you right now in this Gemini season that you may have like been worried about in the past? Mm-hmm. Is your worry coming to an ending here? Yes, during this season? Because maybe you are communicating well, right? It's like, take away the Mars and Gemini energy here and place the sun in Gemini, which is like the 10 of Swords, right? That's new initiations of truth, communications, relationships, because swords are actually relationships that you have with people. So any of those relationships that you thought might have actually been a little bit overwhelmed with some negative energy actually isn't. And that's what this Sagittarius full moon is here today to talk about, because it's like, Libra, Sagittarius is in your house of communications, right? Which is ruled by Gemini. Yes?
Cat
so think
lady.
about that.
Yeah, I totally get it. Like, Libra gets hurt.
Right.
Libra gets hurt, and you get hurt. You get hurt because you are like always taking a chance. Like I was just talking about this before. It's like they call it taking a chance on love for a reason. Right. Taking a risk on love for a reason. Because it's gonna be a risk every time. Because you're never gonna know what temperature the water is or how deep it is. The mysteries of loving someone until you're in it. You just don't know.
Yeah.
And so getting recharged and having the courage to put one foot back out there and have a new relationship with someone new, you really have, it's something that has to be cultivated, because there is fear around it, because there is a chance always that you're going to get hurt, or, you know, you're opening yourself up to a new possibility. And that's in more than a romantic way. That's especially with friends, right?
Right.
Because your friends, a lot of the times, are even more intimate relationships than your lovers. You can make that just physical.
Right.
Right. You know, so, you know, or unless your lover is your friend, which is the ideal, right? Then it's like both, you know. So in that case, I get it. You know, you could be missing someone. You could be missing the fire that's went out, or the passion in something. You know, even if it was just financially, like it was like more glamorous at one point in time, you know, because, you know, fire is all about expanding and in that sense, but fire also does purge and purify. So maybe there were things that had been burned away in order for new possibilities.
Right. This card is talking about releasing feelings of regret. Releasing feelings of regret somehow is tied into the past.
Right.
Okay. So it's like, now we've gotten into the cycle of being at the 9 of swords, which now we're in Gemini season. Think about when your season was, and the Ace of Swords, and the 2 of Swords, the 3 of Swords, right? The 4 of Swords. That's around your birthday time. So this has been like maybe 3 seasons back, right? That you've been dealing with some worry and some of these things that have been bothering you. And now it's saying like there's been so much time that has passed. Your understanding and your consideration towards whatever it was that you were battling has completely changed its perspective. Or the sun is saying you need to identify with it serving its purpose, right? You need to be able to look back and say, wow, I don't regret that. I did learn this. And now I feel this way about these same things that I would have felt this way about them before. You've grown, right? This is a card of growth. The swords push growth. You know what I mean? You just have to deal with them. There's no way of getting away from the swords. Okay, in your realm of emotions, you've got the 8 of Cups, which is Saturn and Pisces, right?
Okay, so the 8 of Cups is talking about what? It's talking about Lord of Separation, traditionally, about walking away from a situation, or having to walk away from a situation karmically somehow, right? It's feelings of restriction associated with love or something that you want, right? Because Pisces, deepest desire is to find their soulmate. And then with Saturn being there, right? Saturn is talking about restriction. Saturn is the work of it, the work of this thing that you have. Also, there's a test. This is talking about a test. Either you guys are being tested emotionally somehow in a relationship through distance. That's definitely possible. Or it's got something to do with an establishment. And can you walk away from an establishment that's not really working for you? Maybe there's a lot of energy that you put into something. You got 8 cups now. It's not 4. You got 8. But at the same time, even though those cups are full, maybe you can't drink anything from those cups. Maybe you're allergic to it. Maybe it's stale. Maybe it's flat. Or, you know, there's so many things that's going on there, but it's not for you.
Right. And the thing is that like with these cards,
you feel that it's not.
With these cards, it's like you look at the imagery, right? So here is the figure. This is Spirit, okay? And Archangel Raphael, right? He's standing at the end of this stream that's trickling down into a body of water. So there's some emotion attached to this. There's like not necessarily emotional fulfillment, but there's like an emotional abundance. And when we say emotional abundance, abundance does not mean always positive. These are all of the emotions that are involved with this. And you've got it in your moon placement. So you have been feeling all of these emotions for a really long time, but there is something that you're bound to within this situation, because we're dealing with Saturn and you're dealing with Capricorn, which is actually, keeping you, constricting you, right? It's holding on to you tightly. This is holding on to you tightly in the realm of emotions, right? You can see the value in it to some degree, but it's like if that karmic lesson is done, it's time to walk away. You see that chest right there full of that gold, all those coins and stuff? Walk away from it. That cat, that animal that's beside her, it's coming with her. So those things that you actually have acquired from this journey that you've been on will follow you. to your benefit.
Caroline, we will look into this reading and see as we go along what the future holds for you. I know you're saying you had a Scorpio husband that you kicked out a couple of months ago, and he's saying that he has changed somehow.
Right.
Now, you know, in this particular situation with Libra, it's like you know you can give and give and give and give and give. Now, if you've had to get to a place where you had to kick him out, that's probably already enough right there, because it takes so much for Libras to be fed up to that place. Right, because you take so much and you're so caring and so loving. Right. So, yes, I know, boo. So, you know, if you had to do this already, you know, and he's fixed in his emotions, so change for him is going to be a lot harder.
Hi, Netherlands.
Right? So just keep that in mind, you know, teaching an old dog new tricks. You know, he can't change for you. Right. He can only change for him.
Right. And Caroline, this card is saying, do what you know is best for you.
Right.
Here's the thing. How on earth is she going to take this huge chest of coins with her? It's heavy. She
all that money, right? Whoa, you thinking?
You're like, yes, I'm gonna take this. No, you're not. You're gonna leave it right here.
You gotta leave it. You can't, right? That's like the boat is sinking and you trying to take it with you on a swim or something. You can't. You gotta save yourself.
Right. And let me read you this message because it really is speaking to you.
Right.
Right. There is something better waiting for you, obviously. Do what you know is right for you, right? A spiritual quest. That's what this is. This is really attesting to like the fact that
more than one person
is coming towards you.
Yeah, it's not just, Caroline, we can break it down for you because you were talking about your Scorpio. Right, so, but just for all you Libras,
we're going to move on to
this is about relationships in general. So if people are trying to make you feel this way, like you got to have them, you got to hold on to this,
could be a Pisces,
it could be somebody in your family especially, right? Or just another person, like a deep relationship. You got to think about what's best for you in this situation. Yeah, some of you could be thinking about a Gemini or a Pisces, you know, or they've got those placements, Moon in Gemini, Sun and, Sun in Gemini and Moon in Pisces, anything like that could be going on. Or they're close to the home or a sibling even. This could be very sibling related as well. You could be having an issue with a sibling.
Right.
Okay.
Let's look at your recent past. Another fire. Okay.
Okay, so in the past, you guys had a really healthy, happy relationship, or you found something inside of yourself. Just for the single Libras, you found something inside of yourself. You accomplished something really beautiful and spirited inside of yourself. Most of you, this is a relationship, especially because you're Libras, right? So the ideal would be a relationship, a beautiful one. Aries is an opposing sign to Libra, right? So that's already kind of saying like a love at first sight feeling maybe physically, but then like there's so much tension elsewise. There could be tensions from the emotions, or there could be tensions from earthly restrictions somehow. This is also, schedules, anything like that. Careers, everything just not fitting. And the balance being off, which, for a Libra, it's going to drive you crazy.
This is kind of like you wanting what you want and not really even like putting up with not getting that. You know what I mean? It could be that too. So you were like really so gung-ho on something being a certain way, and then you realize it's not that way exactly, but it is still close to being that. It's like rolling with the punches and dealing with it, because this is Venus and Aries, but if you want to also think of like a Venus and Mars conjunction, you can kind of like take yourself to that place too, yeah?
This could also be hinting at the idea that it wasn't everything it was cracked up to be, in a sense, or the person was very brute, because this is a 4, which is like Emperor energy. They could be too much, too passionate, and not enough emotion there.
This
and
is
that
like
could
high
be
school sweetheart.
Problematic, yeah. It could even be idealistic on the outside, because Libra is about aesthetic. So maybe the physical was there, sex was really great, like just, all this type of stuff. Maybe you stayed because the sex was great, and that was like a thing. Or the passion was good. They really knew how to take care of you.
There was a compatibility factor that was high in certain areas.
Right.
Not every area, but the compatibility factor.
And on the outside, it probably looked really good too, because, you are Libra, and this card looks really great on the outside. I mean, it's a very positive card. And it's
like
talking about the establishment of love.
It's like, it's enough, right? You're like, oh, well, there are all of these positive attributes, so that's enough. You're weighing the pros and the cons, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that.
Okay, yeah. This is talking about a construction. So you definitely constructed something. It was solid. It was spirited. Like I said, for some of you, it could have been just like a new job or a new opportunity that was like you don't have to come back from. Or just a new part of yourself. Like you established a new plateau within yourself. I was working towards this thing, and now I don't have to go back from that.
Hey, guys, so let's look at what some of the people are saying.
What's up, guys?
Helen Julie was saying that, yes, you're great. Oh, thank you, love. We love beautiful surroundings and luxury. Yes, we do.
You do.
Right, look.
I mean, you're ruled by Venus, and you're an air sign. So think about it. Taurus is like, give me that physical thing. Venus is like, the colors and the smell and the aesthetic. Like it's like the idea of it.
Right.
Like, you know, and you guys are all about sharing.
It's the information too, right?
Right.
It's like, I know that it is this thing because I can see it. It's the senses too.
It's
Libra is ruling like the sight, the taste, the smell, the touch, those types of things.
And it's the sharing of it. So it's like you're getting off on the fact that not only do you think it's beautiful, you're hoping that your partner thinks it's beautiful, right? You're always thinking about other people, especially another person. You plan something, you want to cook dinner tonight, but you're wondering if they're going to like what you make. Like you're thinking about all of this stuff before. And this is the trepidation of Libra, because it's like, we're doing this, but what are we doing it for if we don't? It's always like, you know,
making others happy.
Aries is like, Aries is saying, I got a store. I bought this store. I got it. It's mine. I'm doing it. And Libra's going, well, what are you selling? Well, what's the point of having a store if nobody's coming in?
Are people going to be attracted?
Are we on Google?
Like,
you know, can we Google map it and like really like, you know, all the Aries stuff where you're really relating.
Have you made the people consider how great it would be?
Right, the sharing of it, the socialite. That's why Libra rules open enemies, right? It's open.
That too.
You know I like you. Like, why are you trying to pretend?
I'm still gonna say hi and I'm still gonna say hi and smile if I'm in a good mood.
Gracefully.
So it's like, you know, like if I don't like you and that doesn't mean that I have to be swept, that I have to be pulled down to this bad mood.
You don't want to see Libra doesn't want to do this.
Like
what is all that for? Libra's like,
we love our Scorpios, but, you know, that's one thing that Scorpio is not about to do. Scorpio is not about to be like, oh, like, I'm still having a good day, and if this person is here that I don't like, I can smile. No, they're like, I don't like this person. I don't want to smile. Why are you going through all of that?
It's the balance. I know. Well, you're not stuck there. You're not scorned in that way. You're flexible. You know?
Yeah, it is open enemy. So think about that. That's another reason why people are like, I don't trust Libras. Because they know they can sense when you don't like someone just because of the way you're interacting with them. And it's not in a negative way. You're just not paying that much attention or care into the relationship that you have with the people that you are highly considerable with. You know what I mean? Highly compatible.
You weigh it out. You weigh out your actions and you weigh out the mental. You know what I mean? It doesn't change necessarily what you're feeling on the inside.
Which is why it's possible for Libra to get to this place where like they can detach from people, because it's like if you know someone is an open enemy, then it's like you really can just like not consider them, not acknowledge them at all. That's the thing that people don't really understand about Libra and what confuses them about it. They're like, well, if you don't like me, why aren't you being a bitch to me all the time?
Well, right. And the thing is, you guys rule the 7th house, right? Which is like our relationships with people, basically. You know, so, you know, Libra is the one sign that can really understand that feelings and emotions are something separate than the duties of existing. Like you're still another person, you know what I mean? Like that's why Libras can seem so charitable and all of this, you know, They can be They can be objective, but still be feeling in this way. I mean, Libra rules justice and logic. Right, because it's not always about emotions.
See, Sarah Colston, her bestie is a Cancer.
Sometimes that gavel can come down. When that Libra puts that gavel down, that's it. Shut up. Silence. It's like, that's it.
You're so funny because this is like one of the things. This is like one of the things that Libra thinks, but it's also their own like interpersonal misconception about themselves. But it's funny because I think the same thing, but I know it's not always true. This is what she said. we are so nice, and if you don't like us or me, you really have an issue. Because I'm nice to everyone, so I'm never wrong. LMAO. Yes, but people can choose to not like you, and that's another thing that Libra has to understand, and that we do.
That's true.
We're like, oh yeah, we can be objective. We can be like, oh wow, they really just don't like us because they just choose to not want to like us.
We're all mirrors, first of all, which is something that your sister's cardinal sign can relate to more than you, which is Cancer. Not only is Cancer, Libra's thinking about the mental. Cancer is actually feeling what that person is feeling. So it's going to come from a less self-righteous place because there's less confusion involved, right? Because we're all mirrors. If you don't like me, it's something that you don't like about yourself.
Right.
It's like I was talking to someone the other day, and they were talking about how they pity this person or, this, that, and the other for this reason. They were an older person and they had like a lower job or something. And they, this other person has a better job. And they were just like, oh, sometimes I pity them. You come in, you're just doing this 9 to 5. And I said, well, don't pity them because maybe it's not that type of experience to them. What you're trying to say is, if I had your job and I was your age and I did the things that you did, I couldn't love myself. That's what you're really saying, right? So that's what you have to look at because it's not really like he feels that way about himself and what he's doing.
Yeah.
You feel that way about him. Right?
You guys, just to let you know, if you want a private reading from us, email us at providencetarot@gmail.com. I know that Caroline Lombardo said she wanted a personal reading from us.
Right.
Email us at providencetarot.
We've got a nice spring deal right now going on, so that's good.
Okay, so yeah, let's move on to your present state. Where are you? Okay, Seven of Ariel, which is Seven of Pentacles. We're not in Providence, Rhode Island. We are in New York City.
We're New Yorkers, honey. We've been here over decades.
Long time. So we came up with the name Providence because, it means spiritually ordained by God. For those of you who wanted to know where it came from.
Our South knows both of us are in Sagittarius, and the moon is full in Sag right now, so get the messages. Get them.
Right.
Okay.
We love you guys. Thank you for being so supportive. So this is talking about your investments. This is Saturn in Taurus, right? Saturn actually works quite well in a pentacle placement in an earthly realm, right? Because it's teaching you the appreciation of the things that you are cultivating and you are growing for yourself. You're taking a look at it. You are also making an assessment, right? It's almost like you're going to that state of Virgo. The next phase of the Pentacles card after this is Virgo. So after this 7, you're seeing what you have, and then you're able to make those assessments and work harder at it, right?
Feeling restless, Libra?
Right.
Okay. Feeling restless. That's what this card is giving me. Yeah.
You're ready for it to happen, right?
How long is this situation going to take?
It's Taurus, right?
Difficulties that a 7 is talking about over a period of time. It's been a long period of time. You've been watching this pentacle. You've been watering this plant. You've been doing these deeds. You've been talking to this person. You've been showing up at this job. When is this flower coming? When?
There's weight to the acknowledgement and the consideration and like the effort that you
Saturn likes to work
into it.
That's the thing.
There's effort that you've been putting into it, and there's weight to this effort. So you're seeing that, like, wow, where's the fruit?
Yeah. Saturn likes to work, and you're an air sign, and like you want to go with the flow, and you want to know everything. All the air signs want to know everything. Air can go through every crack, every cranny, everything. But guess what? Saturn slows things down. It rules time, and Taurus is fixed Earth. So you already know this is talking about something that is really slowly moving over time. Because both of these mofos, they ain't playing around. They trying to get something locked down forever type of stuff, right? Because Taurus is talking about commitments and Saturn is talking about time. So it's not going to have you do something and then have to do it again. It's going to make you do it real slowly. You know it. You know every system, every crook and cranny. You can do it with your eyes closed. You know every behavior of this person, that type of stuff.
You know what? This is so wonderful, too, just as Saturn, because, they could go either way, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is talking about prepping for something knowing that it's great, but then Saturn is just like, you are almost there.
Almost.
You are almost to the point where you can
think you're ready,
this.
but you're not.
Right.
Think you're ready.
This is like, it's like you got this thing, but you're almost there. You're almost ready to show it. You're almost ready to present it to people. Yes. Mm-hmm. So be patient. It's saying that you got the goods and all of that stuff is there and things are working out.
Especially when it comes to establishments, you know, or even when it comes to like, you know, a Taurus in your life, you could be feeling possibly really impatient with a Taurus in your life.
Libras do hate repeating things. They don't like repeating things because it's like they spent all this time doing all of this that like when I have to do that again, oh my God, I just went through all of that. So it's like for me, sometimes I really don't like it when people ask me to say something, especially if it was just like a single complete sentence. Because I'm like, I didn't say a whole paragraph. I said, could you pass me the remote on the counter?
There's like a lot of like, some of you might have to change up your routine. And there's a lot of like ringing in your emotions in association with physical things. Maybe you're feeling like something physical went out that you really miss, like a routine. Or you've just been doing a routine for a long time and you're trying to level up in that next way. And you need to have like a new beginning. Right? So there's like just a tension that's being felt to that.
Oh, you guys. Your immediate influence to, attach to your Seven of Pentacles energy telling you to be patient. Your fruits are actually going to be manifested. It's going to be sweet. You got the 10 of Ariel, which is the 10 of Pentacles.
Okay.
Right? We were saying that.
So that's the immediate influence.
Virgo.
Mercury.
Right?
This
Mars
is
and Virgo. What is it?
Mercury.
Mercury and Virgo. I thought that was 8.
Yes, this is Sun.
Sun
Sorry.
and Virgo, y'all.
Mercury and Virgo is 8 of Pentacles. Sun and Virgo. Yes.
10.
So this is talking about a perfected work.
Right. Exactly. It goes with the 7 of Pentacles. There's an accelerated energy here, right? You've advanced from the 7 of Pentacles, the 7 of Ariel, which you were so worried about, the cream feeling, right? Cat lady, you asked, where's the cream feeling? Here it is.
Or the funny thing, this is the chat. It's crossing you. Right. So it could be positive or negative in that sense. It's not, but it is talking about an accumulation and a new beginning.
Right.
This is a time for a new beginning. First of all, 10s are talking about that. So either one of two things is happening here.
Of something.
Like you're literally going to manifest that lucky, good, beautiful gem, that thing that you need. Or you're finally getting to a place where you can like no longer take whatever the physical aspect of that is going on, and then change is going to happen from that. Like you can't, like the routine, there really is talking about changing up the routine and being progressive somehow.
Right.
You're feeling really like
it's saying
impatient.
Right.
And you are.
You don't need to be though, because you have everything, right? It's like you have the skill and the creative drive. You've got the creativity. People are seeing you as this already. So it's not like you have to worry about getting or being something or becoming something. You are already that thing.
Yeah, there's so much to be grateful for already. Yeah, definitely. And you need to think about those things. Think about what is the manifestations that you do have. What you manifested once something before, you can do it again.
Right.
You are this type of mature energy in this way, right? So it's kind of like controlling those thoughts and thinking about what's tangibly there that you can progressively move forward with. There's some analysis that needs to happen with Virgo being there because that's hermit energy, and it's talking about like an epiphany that will come. And Virgo is the sign conjunct to you that you just came out of. So there might be a getting back to yourself that you need to do, right? That's something that you might have to. You might actually have to kind of retrograde in some things in order to go forward. It's like 1 step back, 3 steps forward kind of thing.
And Jupiter right now is retrograde in your 2nd house, of what you have. The things you're able to acquire, things that, your inheritances, things that you're sort of like born with, right? Or things that you just kind of like acquire as you go through life, right? You're looking at those things. It's people, it's jobs, it's, documents, things like that.
For Caroline, Jupiter is retrograde in Scorpio right now, right? So it could be just a call because it's causing a lot for you to think back to that stuff. But you might feel differently once it goes direct again, July 10th. So yeah, he might be doing these things and he's saying that he's changing and this, that, and the other. But keep watching him.
Right.
And then see what happens next month and see if he's still,
Right. It's like Jupiter,
okay, things might change over. And then all of a sudden you're sorry that you let him back in.
Right, because once Jupiter goes retrograde, he might just expand or accelerate those things that were already
there, that were problematic. So that's just something to think about.
Hold off on it, right? Because there's some sort of lesson that needs to be learned here out of this.
Yeah,
situation.
you said exactly. Right. Look, okay, right.
So
yeah.
Don't pull him back in.
Yeah, because you already know you can't teach an old dog new tricks. People, people say people don't change. Listen to me. People do change.
Right.
We evolve as people all the time. There are two different types of change. Growth is change. Just growing is changing. You know what I mean? So there are certain things. Standing still is changing. If you stay in one place, you put this can in the grass and you come back 20 years later, it changed because everything around it changed.
Right. Even when you're standing in one place, you're still moving.
We do change as people. Now, the thing is, when you want to initiate change, that's only coming from yourself. Okay, you can't change for someone else.
And
you have to change because you want to. Even if your spouse is like complaining about Libra, this thing that's bothering you, and they know that you want to change because you're hurting them, and you know this bad thing that you do hurts them. And so you want to change for them. You're always going to fall back into it because you don't want to change for you. You want to change for them. You want to change, you want to seem better in their eyes somehow, but you haven't discovered it. You haven't found that thing for yourself. So how? What does Ru say? RuPaul's Drag Race?
If you
can't love yourself, how the hell you gonna love somebody? Right, exactly.
Can I get an amen?
Okay, Libra of all people can understand that because you can't. And even in my own personal relationships, some of the ones that I think about in the past, it's like they had those epiphanies later. Where it was like, they realized that if they really loved themselves, that it would have been able to fix itself.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Gosh.
Because it wasn't about loving me. You can't you can't just love me and do it for me.
No. It's got to be you loving yourself because when you do that, other people will see it.
Right.
And this is why Saturn is exalted in Libra.
And you'll realize, or they'll realize, why this person is so important to me.
Right.
Right? It's like you brush your teeth every day because you want your teeth to be clean. Right. It's important to you. I want my partner to be happy. It's important to me. If my partner's happy, then I'm happy. I need to sit and look across at them smiling at me because they want to smile at me, not because they feel like this is the perfect moment to smile at me. You know what I mean?
It's like that's one of the reasons why Saturn is exalted in Libra, because when you're involved in relationships with people, you have to teach them how you want to be treated.
They always realize later.
You have to teach them how you want to be treated. And that's over time. That's exactly what I was saying in the beginning of the reading. When you are involving yourself with people, and people who are close to you are different than the people who aren't close with you, because you have invested time in the people that are close to you, so that you can begin to see certain aspects of them that you can learn to appreciate outside of the external. Yes? Mm-hmm. And it's a physical thing, right? Saturn is about physical because it rules Capricorn, which is an earth sign. And people are physically in your life when you're close to them. It's like they are actually something of value. That's why people get life insurance policies. Hello. Mm-hmm. Okay? So let's look at your future. You got the Knight of Raphael, which is the Knight of Cups. That's beautiful.
Okay. So that's talking about wanting to share.
Right.
Or there's intimidation there. There could be intimidation here because the Knights are fire. And this is a water suit. So here we go again. So you got that water-fire combination again, right? Because you got the Queen here as well. Right. Now, this is talking about something sudden might come in. Some type of sudden emotions might come in. Right. It could be definitely positive emotions.
Right. This is
or presentation of, or it could be something just intimidating that's lurking that you need to face, that you're going to have to do, and you know you have to do it. But it's like you got to cross this path, and you got to face this like intimidation so that you can get to the other side. And you're probably going to feel so much better, Libra, once you do it.
These circumstances and these situations around this,
who you got to tell what
experience for you is kind of like You know, don't be overwhelmed with the idea of commitment. And don't be overwhelmed with the idea of committing to openly sharing your emotions with someone.
Let them
Don't be afraid. Yeah, let them in. It's like it's time to wear your heart on your sleeve a little bit more, right? It's like you want to invite people in so that you can show them these parts of you that they actually look for in people, but don't tell anyone.
This is a different mate. These are different friends. This is a different job for a lot of you out there. It's like don't put something on that scale that's from the past. Don't put a ghost on there.
Azia, what do you mean by how do I detach from feelings with my best friend and still be happy for him? It's like, do you have a crush on your best friend who's now getting married? Detach yourself because, like, he's unavailable.
Right. Which we all do. I mean, some of those things is like, that's Saturn as well. So Saturn is about restrictions. Right. And so Saturn just puts restrictions there. You know, it doesn't change feelings. Saturn isn't about how we feel. It's earthly things. And we have restrictions for reasons. Right. Even though relationships are karmic and cosmic, you know, there are limitations to many different things.
Vaya.
You have to weigh out what's fair. Libra, you understand that.
Right. Vaya, we determined that we were going to use this angel deck, and she said she was speaking to Archangel Raphael this morning. So
oh, wow. Okay, so good.
That's why this deck is really beautiful, because it could be a love deck, but then it's also a very spirit. It's like a spirituality.
There could definitely be somebody coming in, especially if there's a Pisces in your life. This definitely is kind of like, especially if there's a Libra out there that's thinking about a Pisces. This could definitely be in correlation with that, just because you
might be walking away from a Pisces.
Yeah, you know, you could be walking away from a Pisces, or a Pisces is just affecting you.
Right.
And there could be the intimidation of that factor, or there's just another suitor that's coming in that is also a water sign.
This is a fluctuation within a situation with the Pisces, right? It's a fluctuation. Nights are fluctuating energy, you know?
Right. And this could be also just a mark in the marketplace. This could be a lucky sign as far as money or business is concerned. Maybe there's like a flush or a flow that might be coming in.
Moving in with the Pisces. Here we go. Look at that. Right. Foundations, home.
Or there could be just like some type of it, like I said before, intimidation factors. Horses are very, very powerful creatures.
Don't be intimidated by the moving in, okay?
Be careful with like sharing of yourself, you know. Yeah, just in like in your communication of your emotions, you know, don't be intimidating in your emotions. Some of you could be like, you know, intimidating in your emotions in the sense that, you know, I know I'm right, that type of thing. I know I'm right. And so I'm just going to go full force with this in this way. And it's just saying, be graceful with it. Be graceful with it. You can get more out of it. You already know if you come in a soft Venetian way. Right. And you know how to do that. You know how to be graceful and be Venetian with things. Right. It doesn't have to be like anything manipulative.
Right.
It's just think about your approach.
Right. That's that. Yeah, exactly. Be smart about that. Okay. So in your anxieties, right. You're worried about like if you're actually going to be getting along. Right. You're worried about the camaraderie of something. It's just like there's some conflict there. And that's what you work with. You know what I mean? This is Aquarius energy.
So Venus, your ruler.
Right.
Venus and Aquarius. Are you having a conflict with an Aquarius? First of all, that's like the most literal of this. Some Aquarius is driving you crazy, and this person, they just stop.
Funny because I kind of was, but it's not a conflict. It's a fluctuation of energy and a miscommunication. So some of you guys may be miscommunicating with some people, and it's not being understood. There's some confusion in the miscommunication.
Some type of anxieties, or like, you know, the beauty's going out. Maybe just somebody isn't seeing it your way. Because, you know, Aquarius is having the mind fixed on an idea. And then, you know, Venus being there, it's like, do you guys see beauty the same way? If you don't see it the same way, or you can't see the eye to eye, there might be some conflict.
I'm loving
arguments.
I'm loving Libra because you guys are always giving it like it's like you, Virgo, and Scorpio are always giving like the high views. You guys are talking to each other while we're giving the reading. It's so Gemini season, Libra in Gemini season.
What do you guys say?
You guys are having conversations with each other. I love it. Right.
Left you with the Aries baby. I just figured out what he did and how he tricked me.
Right.
Okay.
They were saying that she has a Venus in Aries or Venus in Aquarius man that she just ended things with.
There you go. And the anxieties.
Yeah, my baby daddy, y'all. Yep, he must be in Aquarius.
Yeah, well, there you go. Look, Aries was here. That was the baby. You had a baby together, Venus and Aries. Then Venus in Aquarius is the conflict right here. Right, so Venus, your ruler, is telling you.
Venus is doing.
Well, the beautiful thing was the baby, because the baby is like I am, and that's the creation or the initiation of it. Now the conflict happening with the Aquarius and the intimidations of that being the future. Like I have to deal with this person I'm karmically tied to. Right.
And here's the thing, you guys. Libra doesn't like to be lied to, because it's like all that information, there was value in that, right? There was value in all of that information that you gave them. So it's like when they feel like
it's also selfishness.
That's like Aries that's like paying someone. That's like being like, hey, you won the lottery. Yes, $1 million. We're gonna give it all in cash, and then when they give it to you in cash, it's all counterfeit. What?
Or we're gonna give you $1 million, but we're gonna give you like, $100 a week for like 50 years. You're like,
and then like at the 10th year, you're gonna kind of like cut it off and be like, we're not giving it to you anymore. What do you mean?
Right, they done pulled it out. It's like something you wanted to get excited about it, right? You thought life was changing. You was gonna pay some bills off, but actually, you can take care of your MetroCard every week, which is still something. But it's like,
come from a place of of just maturity, right, in your thought process, because Aquarius is that maturity. So it's causing you to actually take the high road.
It's also talking about you're thinking about really anxieties over the long term. Like this is retirement. This is like your kids' college fund. This is like, you know what I mean? You're thinking this is like the business. Maybe you just started a business, or you started working somewhere, and like you're thinking about the long term. Or like your partner, your partner could be away from you, and you're thinking about, when I'm going to see them again. Like all of these types of things, because this is a journey. Like this person is going somewhere with his feelings, going somewhere, right?
Baea said, she just told her son to buy a lottery ticket a few seconds ago. We are lit. Y'all is lit.
Oh, okay. Immediate influence. Immediate influence is the lottery ticket, right? Because this is considered the lottery card. So right now, Good. Or you guys could be having a really good day or a really good week for sure.
Let's see what's in your Mars position, okay? Oh, beautiful. So you had the 5 of Michael. And then they got the 6 of Michael right after that. So there's your progression.
So put more into the exodus. Get out! Get out of it.
You're getting out of this energy of the conflict, the slander within, the voices telling yourself you can't achieve something.
You know what?
Allowing yourself to feel like misguided by your own discouragement. Don't.
Yeah. This is Mercury and Venus. If you think about it, even in a Greek mythology kind of way, it's like it's Aphrodite and Eros, right? So it's basically like Cupid and Venus, right? So in one Aphrodite being the goddess of love really is thinking about the whole scope and the initiation, whereas Mercury is thinking about something very poignant and very angled, right? I'm going to communicate this thing. I'm going to do this thing, right? So it's like really focusing your mind now on intentions.
Right.
Also, Venus is more mature in the sense that it's talking about logic and logistics and what's fair. And Mercury is talking about that one thing, that thing that I need to, it's a little more fickle in that aspect. Right. So some of you may be actually wanting to put more energy into communicating to an Aquarius, or you're just feeling
Aquarius?
Mars is in Aquarius right now.
Right.
Actually.
So you're moving on. This is Mercury in Aquarius. So you're thinking about ways of getting yourself out of a situation that has been,
or you just want to go off. You really want to go off.
Or you
really want to go off.
Or you're thinking this is like communication. This is double communication this time, right? So you're are literally focused on communication. Hey, today I was communicating in ways that I knew I would be communicating, and it just happened to be the Sagittarius full moon. You know what I mean? So here you go, you guys. This is actually breaking free of that troubling energy of the 5 of Swords. Yes, you're moving on after the rain. Work. That's in your will. You want it to happen.
That's you do want to move, or you want to take a trip, especially if you're separated from someone, because the moon is, I mean, Saturn is in Pisces. So if Saturn is in Pisces, you could also be just putting aggression into like trying to reach, you know, trying to, like, you want to get to that other side and it's not clear. Everything's not necessarily clear.
Right.
You want to expand in your thoughts. Also, if some of you are into photography or media related things, like you want to put more aggression into that. You want to put more aggression into, you know, reaching people. Or you're like, maybe you have an idea of something and you want to enterprise it somehow. It's saying to put more energy into that. Yeah. Like your resume stuff, your systems, Mercury related things, medical stuff. If you're in a medical field and you want to, you know, communicate these systems, right? That's very important right now. Okay.
Yeah. Let's look at your advice in terms of like you taking the high road and actually coming out of the Six of Swords. This is going to kind of be like a response to that, like what comes as a result of you doing that, right? Moving on.
The advice.
Beautiful. Oh, it's so good.
Okay,
you got
all these swords.
All these swords.
This is your
Michael,
card.
Jupiter in Libra. The
Wow.
advice is definitely take a break from this
Very
mental
spiritual
strife.
card.
Take a break from like just the turmoil of like going back and forth in your own head. You really need to relax. You need to seek the spiritual guidance. You know what I mean? You've got to allow yourself to come to a place of solace.
Yeah, this is definitely, this is getting the swords down. This is the lowest number of swords that you have so far, right? You got a lot of swords. You got a 9 of swords, you got the 5 of swords and the 6 of swords. This is the 4 of swords. Now we're getting to a place. The advice.
You're getting them in a
to
great
get the swords down. And I think I even hinted at getting the swords down earlier.
Right.
So it's like getting these swords down, right? Getting them to a place where your environment, make sure that your environment is what you need it to be, Libra. You already know. If you don't know, then you don't know yourself well enough. If you don't think that your environment is affecting you, your aesthetic, because it is. You need to have that stuff clean. I was about to say, have that shit clean. Okay, right? You need to make sure everything is clean and beautiful. Something is smelling good. When you wake up in the morning, you smell the flowers that you bought last night, or you got some candle that's scented that affects you. These things, the senses, Libra, it affects you in this way. If you're suffering, get your aromatherapy. Yeah. Get some lavender, put it here, put it in the back of your ears, put it a little bit on your pillow. You know, stuff like that that's going to calm you down.
Put that classical music on, you know what I mean? Put those partitas on. Put
with some citronella if you're not allergic to, I mean, not citronella, cilantro, or herbs, not citronella. Cilantro, right? Or like parsley or mint, you know, things that are going to like open you up a little bit.
Make beauty in your home. Sometimes you're not gonna feel impulsive enough, or you're not gonna feel the drive behind doing that, right? You're gonna have to generate the energy to do it. But actually,
eucalyptus,
putting energy towards that beautification is actually going to give you energy. So you're feeding it to yourself anyway. You know. This is my first time catching you live. Hello, hi
guys.
Allow the dust to settle to see with clarity. Exactly. Love classical music. You should.
Yes. You guys, the aesthetic is so important for you. So if you're dating someone and you might not be thinking of this because you are so considerate, you allow them to do whatever it is that they do. If whatever it is that they're doing, their music, their stuff, like is affecting you, then you have to compartmentalize that at times. You know what I mean? Like you have to get yourself in the right place, you know, and so that you can be of service to them too. You know, you don't necessarily have to, they don't have to change for you, but you have to bring it out in the open so that they are aware that certain things that they do affect you in a negative way. And you will go on and not express that. And that's not fair to you or them. So it's like you have to express these things that bother you at times, you know, because a lot of times you don't want confrontation because you want to go with the flow and this, that, and the other. And you're always thinking about your partner. And then you get over considerate about the partner and feel thwarted. And you wonder why you end up in this situation because you didn't express yourself. And not everybody is as in tune with their partner's needs, especially if you're dating an Aries, which is opposite you, because there's that love and attraction there. But they're just like, Aries, they have the impulse.
I'm dating an Aries rising. He's actually a Libra sun, Aries rising, and I'm Libra rising. And he always comes back after being very impulsive, even at just his mood and his actions. And he's like, I'm sorry, I should have done that.
I'm sorry.
And
Right.
like,
They're not
you
even
should
thinking
have
about
thought
that.
about it, and you wouldn't have had to apologize to me. It's like that thing with confrontation. It's like, if we understood each other so much, there would be so much less confrontation. So the fact that there's confrontation for Libra is a disappointment because it's like, damn, we're not really understanding each other the way that I really want us to do that.
And it's crazy because the misunderstandings are the things that cause for chemistry a lot of the times, right? Because it makes it hot. I don't understand this person, but they're so hot and we want each other. We keep looking at each other. I want to get to you. Oh, sex. It's like all of this type of stuff. But then it's like, after all of that happens and the flames and the combustions, you want to feel compatible. Yeah. You want to relate to someone. And that's more watery based, like getting underneath it and the feelings related to things. It's like we were talking about relationships and we were like, a lot of the times when you have that intimacy with someone, that's that day-to-day person that, you lock it down with. When you can just kind of have, and then you have these moments that grow into passion. And then a lot of the times when you have this really physical passion with someone, it's like a spark. It's like a one night stand kind of thing, or like a wham, or the relationship fizzles out really fast, 2 weeks, 1 month. You have to find those balancing elements, right?
Brianda Abad, you look so familiar in the blue. Have you ever been in New York? We live in New York.
We live here in New York. We're New Yorkers.
You see me on the subway?
You find us everywhere, honey. We're all over Manhattan.
Yeah, we really
sometimes
are.
in Brooklyn.
Yeah,
I used to live in Brooklyn. Yeah, we're New Yorkers.
He
went to Juilliard. You could see him anywhere. You know what I mean?
Might have been dancing somewhere.
Okay, we're dancers, right?
So let's look at your outcome card, right?
Here we go. What is it?
Work. The Wheel of Fortune.
Okay. Wait, this is deep. Stop. Libra. Stop, Libra. Stop, Libra. First of all, you guys don't have any major arcana cards except for this one.
Right.
There's nothing here. All the cards that we pulled, nothing was a major arcana card. So all of it is saying minor issues, minor things, not a big deal. Stop tripping, right? Ain't nothing here major. Everything is minor. Everything is minor except for this. Jupiter.
Right.
The change. So it's changing.
Sagittarius.
Things are changing. Period.
That
so get ready for the change. Where are you going to be when this wheel starts to turn?
Right.
So once the wheel starts to turn, right? If you're on the outside of the wheel and it starts to speed up really fast, guess what's going to happen to you? Ah!
For those of
you're going to get thrown. You better be in the center of that wheel with a seatbelt on. So no matter how fast it goes, you're not going to lose control. You're not going to lose your center of yourself.
For those of you that were born in 1982, 1983, you might have Jupiter in Sagittarius. So Jupiter is going to be going into Sagittarius in the fall, in November. I'm looking forward to that. This is really just preluding to the fact that Sagittarius actually, that's some energy that you guys can really work well with. Your sextile Leo and your opposite Aries, which makes that your opposing energy, but it's also the most magnetic. Sagittarius is really good for you guys too, being that airy nature, and they're after you, so they can really tap into those things that they've learned from you. Yes.
This is talking about expansion, and it's a benevolent planet, so it's like it's going to be beneficial expansion for you in the sense that your wheel. This is a great time having this queen here,
so good,
paired with that, right? It's telling you whatever it is inside of yourself. This is definitely Aries energy telling you get back to your own spirit. So if you've been focusing too much on your partner, which Libra tends to do,
right? I'm going to read you guys.
You need to get back to yourself so that you can find that happiness, because that partner is not actually the happiness for you. Right. It's like inside of yourself. Yes, you're going to be happier with your partner, but a lot of the times you're using that partner as a distraction from you being unhappy with your choices. So, get back to your choices. I'm getting deep with you. I know I'm getting deep.
CB Sweetie, you pulled over to your reading. We love that you're being safe. Wear that seatbelt. Okay, so I'm going to read you some things from Doreen Virtue because these are her words in this book. Okay. Exciting changes are coming. The wheel spins with the power of life and turns to bring you prosperous new opportunities. If you've been finding it difficult to get your plans off the ground, that will change now. Sudden movement forward is likely. While the idea of change can sometimes be worrying to people, You must trust and know that the universe wants you to be happy. Expected events are meant to point you in a direction that will bring you a more joyful and fulfilling life. If you feel uncertain, ask Archangel Jeremiah to give you a clear understanding of where you're headed. Additional meanings of this is, a fresh start, being optimistic for the future, and the ability to adapt. Our Archangel Jeremiah is the angel who can help us see our lives clearly so that we can make assessments about changing circumstances.
This is really good.
This is a beautiful reading for you today. His name means mercy of God. And didn't we talk about what providence meant, being ordained by God?
I'm seeing money coming in.
Yes.
I am.
And Archangel Jeremiah, he assists those wanting to review their past, like we talked about, in a kind of forgiving way, not being full of regrets in regards to the past. I'm not reading that. I'm just telling you.
Trust the process.
Right.
You're right.
Trust the process. Archangel Jeremiah has the ability to create great visions of the future. Call upon him to help when you're seeking inspiration on how to successfully make amazing changes in your life. You guys, Archangel Jeremiah. So if you want to look that up later in correspondence to this reading that we're giving you today, you do that. And read about Jupiter too, because that's something that you need to understand as well. Jupiter was in your sign last year, and now it's in your second house of what you have. This is saying that what you have is really what's in store for you. Yes, it's what you're going to benefit from coming up.
Yeah, if you guys are focused on some monetary issues, I'm getting stop worrying about that. Because a lot of this is really personal as far as what's going on here. You will get more out of things monetarily once you get centered here.
Optimism.
Okay? Because a lot of this is in your immediate, the two pink cards are the pentacles. So that's the earth right there. This is the only earth that you got.
In the core of your reading.
Right? In the core of your reading, in the heart of it, right in the middle. Everything else is swords. There's something emotionally that you're I said, that you could be either a wave that's going to come in, somebody could present something really beautifully, or a franchise even. I'm seeing something here because what's crossing you is this pentacle. So it could be, and Jupiter. So there could be an offer.
And the thing is
somebody might bring an offer to you.
The wheel is 10.
Grasp it. Don't be so wavery of it. Grasp the opportunity.
Really magnetic. It's like taking a highlighter and swiping it over this, right? This 10, Wheel of Fortune, speaking to this 10 of
there may become a chance, definitely, for you to finally express something that you've been really sitting on. Right. So grasp that opportunity and write it out.
Unexpected offer, yep. Opportunities, strokes of luck, even, just being in the right place at the right time.
What July is going to bring for you guys, because Jupiter is here. So that means this month is going to bring some change. Right. And you are in your sister sign. You're in Gemini. So this is energy you can work with. Air energy. Right. You already know, because Mercury is really the child of Venus in a lot of ways, right? It's like a break off spawn of you to a certain degree. They're not as deep in that way, and that's good. It makes for more productivity because there aren't as many feelings involved. There's not love and stuff involved as much, right? So really it's talking about getting down to some stuff, connecting again, and then you'll be able to relate and get those deeper things that you want. Once you reestablish some things, you got to uproot some things, make some changes.
You're seeing things clearly here too. It's not like you're disillusioned. You have one card. You have two Pisces cards, but it's not really the Hanged Man or anything that nothing came out in reverse, and nothing is really attesting to you not really knowing what's going on. This is a really great reading of Libra, and we're not just gassing it up to be that, because you do have some issues that you're dealing with, but it's you're coming out.
There are changes. There are changes. Because at the bottom of the deck, some of you may be traveling. That definitely. Some of you are thinking about taking a trip somewhere, and you're gonna do it, and it's gonna reestablish something, either with a passionate person in your life, or it's a feeling related to your career, right? There's some type of sharing that you want to do. Either you have some type of idea for something, and you're wondering if it's gonna bring some money in, and it is, or there's somebody that you missed that you've been longing for, and you're gonna take that trip, and it's gonna reignite some passion.
Sarah. Go to Nepal, Helene.
Or you're going to meet somebody along the trip, like a water sign.
I'm just going to leave you guys today. We're going to leave you guys today with this image of the High Priestess, because this is saying that you already knew all of this abundance was on its way.
Right.
You know?
And it's the sharing. You might have to break apart from something in order to do it. Like you might have to break apart from an establishment or from your family.
You guys, we started the new year, the lunar new year, or our new year, on January 1st with a full moon in Cancer, which is in your 10th house, your midhaven, right?
That's your heritage and reputation.
It was saying that coming into this new year, your reputation.
You were already thinking about all of that. You were already thinking about all of that stuff.
Right. You were already on that plane. You already knew. The High Priestess is here, peeking underneath. You got another major arcana card underneath.
That's also the father. That's also the father.
You got the moon
Jupiter is the father as well.
The moon underneath the High Priestess. That's saying that you fucking knew. Pardon my French. You guys, we're done. Okay, this is fierce. You better work that Sagittarius full moon.
It's just so much. It's just so much relationships. Yeah.
Another moon. Yeah.
Another moon.
Yeah. So you already knew. So. Yeah. You guys, if you want to follow us on Instagram, not if you want to, but you are going to follow us. We're at Providence Tarot. We post things daily, daily card readings, things like that. You might get a sense of like who we are, just individually.
Get a rein on your welcome. Get a rein on your own emotions, right? Like we said before, think about the open enemy idea.
It was jam-packed,
right? Like it's like. So for some of you, because Jupiter also is like, if you study Vedic, Jupiter and Venus don't really get along, and Venus is your ruler. So some of you, at the end of it, if you get clarity on a situation that had been bothering you, and you realize that maybe you can't be in agreement with this person or this establishment, then that's fine. At least you understood that, and you got an understanding from it. That was an evolution.
You're making things work, right? You're just kind of like not really letting negativity get in the way. Not even the negativity that you might even generate.
Bring
from
the
yourself,
beauty back in.
It's like letting go of all of those things that don't serve you, because Jupiter is just going to come in and offer you all of those different, abundant things.
Remember what I said about beauty, right? Like your aesthetic and like those aromatherapy things and like your food and all that stuff. Like,
so you guys email us if you need a private reading. If you want to follow us on Instagram, do that. Dale is at Blue is True. That's with 2 T's. I am at NYC Kendrick. We'll see you guys soon. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment on the videos.
All right.
Watch your sun, your moon, and your
It's really easy to, you can just Venmo or PayPal us or anything like that, and we'll connect with you. We do like videos just like this.
Now, we do FaceTime. I have an iPhone, so when we do FaceTime from the iPhone, then, obviously you would have to have an iPhone, or we'll do FaceTime from Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook, Messenger.
WhatsApp. So all of those
avenues. We got options for you, boo. We got options for you. Or old-fashioned, just speak a phone and we just talk to you. We'll talk to you and we'll kiki with you. You'll feel like we're right there in the room with you.
So happy full moon.
Okay.
Happy new moon towards the end of the month.
Use this energy. This is not the energy to sit at home. And if you are sitting at home, you better get centered in a good book, or you better start painting, writing, doing whatever it is that you do. Focus on that career or that passion, that centered, mature passion that if that's a person, focus on that person. Okay. If it's a will or something, a talent that you're really good at, focus on that talent. If the moon is full in Sagittarius, this is higher learning, and the ruler is saying, you want to make those changes happen, you need to initiate them. Take responsibility.
It's not just about what other people want for you, it's about what you want for yourself. And the moon being in Sagittarius is really just kind of tapping into that emotional, like self-love, self-provider. What are you providing for yourself, and how are you actually going to get it?
And let go of the fear. Some of you are too caught up in what's beautiful now, and you're afraid that you're going to lose, like you're afraid of losing the beauty because you love the beauty so much. And maybe there's a disdain. Maybe it just looks good on the outside and it's not as good on the inside. And the test is, can you leave these comforts that aren't really good for you, Libra?
Yes, CB, sweetie.
Right? In order to build and create something new. Sometimes you don't want to leave that castle, even though he is horrible.
So we have some openings. If you guys want to go ahead and email us, and we'll try to work out our schedules. if you guys want both of us. Just know in the future, once we move forward and we become more busy with, generating the readings and people, are more demanding.
Eventually you'll get me, or you'll get him, or you'll get both of us.
Or you get me, or you get both of us, and both of us will probably be at a premium. So just be mindful of that. We'll be coming to you with all of that information.
Right.
Yes.
And obviously both of us will have to schedule ahead. So you might not just get us, you might be able to catch us right after this now, but with some stuff like that, we'll have to schedule it out. But we work it out.
Yeah. Okay, you guys. All right. See you later. Bye, Libra.
Bye, Libra.